What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday, aka Friday Junior. Welcome back to another episode of Brown Like a Girl, the podcast. It is your favorite girl, Imani, here with a new episode. So I will be uploading content Tuesdays and Thursdays. However, Tuesdays are solely for my interviews. So that's where I'm just talking to a guest, another woman, another creative who's doing bomb shit. But on Thursdays, I will be talking about topics that I think are important to the social media world, the branding world, the marketing world, whatever you want to call it, but it's just going to be me on here chit-chatting. Be sure, if you are listening to this on Apple Podcasts, that you are giving me a 5-star rating. You already know, because I'm a 5-star chick. And if you're nice, definitely leave me a comment. That definitely helps me and helps my podcast get out there. But if you don't even do that, just share my podcast with someone that you think would enjoy. So nevertheless, let's just jump right in. So today's episode, we are going to be talking about Instagram, the like button, the removal of the like button, or the testing out of the removal of the like button, and what does that mean for the future of social media or the future of Instagram? Are they starting a trend? You know, we're just gonna dive right in. Don't mind me, I am looking down. That is because I have some notes and I want to make sure that I stay on topic and I touch on the things that I wrote down. So a lot of people in the US, they are just now finding out about Instagram wanting to remove this like button, which is kind of funny. I mean, I guess it's not super funny, because if you're not, super hip to what's going on in tech, then of course you wouldn't really know what's going on. But Instagram, they've been testing this out for the past year now. Countries like New Zealand, Ireland, Australia, and I believe Brazil, they haven't had the like button for a while now. And mixed reviews, some people like it, some people don't like it. So in June of 2019, the Instagram CEO, his name is Adam Mosseri, I can't pronounce his last name, sorry. He was featured on an interview with CBS this morning, where he shared that Instagram would begin putting likes on private, and saying that Instagram wants to make people feel good about themselves. This past Friday, he actually went on Instagram and he announced that they will be testing out this action in small portions of the US. And again, people have had mixed reviews about this taking place. So a lot of the mixed reviews that I've been hearing is more so, why can't I see my likes, or why can't people see my likes? It's just social media, blah, 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 blah. So this new feature, or the hiding of the likes, is not going to necessarily affect you actually seeing your likes. It will just, your users will not see your likes. So for me, say I got 100 likes on a page or on my photo, I will be able to still see that. I will still be able to see my engagement. However, those who view my profile, who interact with my content, they will not see that. So for me, I want to just dive right into mental health, because that seems like something that is a growing concern, and it's probably one of the primary reasons as to why people believe that Instagram is doing this. I don't agree, I don't disagree, but yeah, that's just my little point of view, but we'll see. So I'm gonna just say it, we're addicted to our phones, we're addicted to social media, we are addicted to the dopamines that we receive when we receive praise, for likes, comments, a follow, all those types of things. It's a proven fact. They've done studies on this. I don't have no exact statistic, but it's a proven fact that your brain literally releases dopamine because you received a like, or because you are literally being someone on the internet. It makes people happy. I say that we're addicted because literally we're on social media, but we're not social people anymore. A lot of people are focusing, you go out, you see your friends, what are they doing? They're on their phone. What do? We sleep with our phones in the bed. First thing we do when we wake up in the morning is get on our phones, checking our Instagram, checking our emails, not even really tuning in with ourselves before we start our day. We're just jumping on this digital platform that's not necessarily even real life. So we're addicted. Is it our fault? Not necessarily. These platforms were strategically curated to be addicting. They understand that. And I'm going to say this because they are data collectors, and the more data and the more specific information you can receive about your user, about your consumer, about a consumer, the easier it is for companies, large companies, to collect your data, to collect the trends that you have, and the easy it is for them to sell things to you. You know, that's why we see ads that are specific to our interest, our age groups, and the things that we like. It's because, like I said, we're addicted. So the more time you spend on the internet searching things, and just putting that information out there and interacting with things that you actually enjoy, the closer that people can figure out what you like and how they can market to you so that they can make more money. These social media platforms were not necessarily created with that in mind, but these, you know, media tycoons, not even these media tycoons, these tech tycoons soon realized that digital media or technology, in the sense of applications that connect us socially, will be able to be utilized to collect data. And when you collect data, you can sell that data. And when you have a lot of data, that data is very, 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 very expensive, or it can be very, not even expensive, it can be very profitable, extremely profitable to many different organizations, many different types of people, whether it's good or bad. But when you have access to all that power, and that power being people's information, their personal information, their trends, and what they do, what they buy, what they like, it can kind of get deadly. So we're addicted. You know, these platforms were, like I said, like carefully curated to keep us addicted. So it's not our fault. So, you know, it's not our fault. So for me, my personal experience with social media, I've been on social media since MySpace days. I wasn't born into social media like a lot of younger generations are, and we'll talk about that in a second, but I know a world without social media. Even though it might have been rather brief, I do know a world without it. And to me, I kind of still see that world, and I think that's what's helpful to some people who are kind of on the cusp when it comes to when social media started, you know, getting introduced to us, and opposed to those who don't know a world without social media, who don't know a world without smartphones, who don't know a world where dial-up and floppy disk, you know, actually were a thing. Okay, so as you all may know, I am a social media influencer, and for me, I never got on these platforms, on these I never like went from social media platform to platform in hope of being famous, in hope of having millions and millions and millions of likes. Have I experienced a space where maybe I felt that, wow, like that didn't get enough likes, or that didn't perform well? Of course, we all feel that way. We all feel like, damn, I was a bad bitch in that post. How could I only get 600 likes when I usually get 1,000 likes? It happens, but it's life, you know. It's not the end all be all. And I used to beat myself up, especially this past summer, because I knew that my Instagram had, well, not even my Instagram, my YouTube had grown. Like, I have 121,000 subscribers, and to me, I'm trying to understand why are my videos not performing well? Why am I not getting the views that I think that I deserve? Or, you know, why is my engagement not equal to why isn't the ratio of my engagement from actual subscribers and viewers, why is it not weighed, you know, correctly? But I had to really sit down, assess my data. Y'all need to hear these words. Data is key, okay? These likes, these followers, all of that is cute, but the future is data. The future is not likes and followers. So I'm gonna just put that out there. But I had to sit down and really assess that my community was shifting. A lot of people were following me for hair tutorials, but if I wasn't creating hair tutorials, that's not what they came to my page for. Or some people were following me for college vlogs, and if I wasn't creating that type of content, that's not why, you know, they were following me. So I had to understand that I have multiple groups of people within my larger group of people, and that kind of made me feel better, and that also allowed me to re-strategize how I want to curate my content and how I'm going to curate my content, but most importantly, how am I going to make content that makes me happy, opposed to make content that is trendy, that is receiving all these likes, that is popular. That's not necessarily my goal. For me, it's impact versus follower count or likes. So for some people, it takes a while to get to that place. It is a numbers game when it comes to social media. A lot of times brands, they only want to work with these top tier influencers who are lacking I would say, empathy, who are lacking authenticity, who are lacking personality. But that is another conversation for another day. So in 2018, there was a Pew Research study, and it found that 43% of teens aged 13 to 17 surveyed in the United States felt pressure to only post content that made them look good to others. So you hear that. They're not even posting content or wanting to post content that actually makes themselves feel good. No, they just want the likeness of their peers, which is to be expected. I think we forget a lot that the youth, teens, and how impressionable they are and how they feel, or how they really crave the validation of others. I think we've all been in those spaces, especially in those very tender ages of middle school to high school years, where you're trying to find yourself and you're trying to cling to anything or anyone who is popular or who people naturally gravitate to or look up to or are envious of. So of course it makes sense that teenagers, young adults, the youth who populate social media heavily, who see so much on social media, only want to create an image that that makes them look the best. You know, it makes sense. So I say all of this to say social media is their social currency. Now, you know, for me growing up in high school, I think people did care about Instagram and stuff like that. I just used to post me being cute on Instagram and my hair and like my outfits, and I would promote my YouTube and stuff. But now, because we have so many apps that I don't even use, like I do not follow I don't really follow young teenagers. I don't even understand the content that they post. Like, have y'all been on TikTok? Have y'all seen them kids dancing? Like, I know I used to dance crazy, but sometimes I can't even wrap my head around their memes and the content that they post. But if they see one person doing something, it's very often that they're going to keep trying to emulate that and keep trying to do that because they see that person reaching success socially. So they think that that is the formula to reach success socially. Not necessarily even reach success. It's just more so a social thing because that's where they are. Will this have long-lasting effects on their mental health? Potentially, because I do feel there are some older adults, people my age, people within my age group, who put a lot of pressure on themselves to look good on the internet, but they're not even like good people in person. They're not even good people in real life. And I think a lot of people forget that that's what's the most important. Are you a decent human being for real? Because when this social media shit go down, when shit really hit the fan, who are you? QTNA. So I found something interesting. I'm sure some of you are aware of this, but if you're not, I'm gonna put you on. So in 2014, China initiated the social credit system. It is a national reputation system that is being developed by the Chinese government, and by 2020 it is intended to standardize the assessment of citizens and businesses' economic and social reputation. It is called their social credit. Essentially, it's very similar to our credit scores. Like, did you pay your damn bills on time? Did you pay your student loans? And if you essentially are not being a good person in their eyes, and being a good person comes in the form of paying your bills on time, but also speeding tickets. Are you paying your bills on time? Are you actually carrying out your national duties, whether that's like jury duty? Are you going to the military? And I do believe that they will be penalizing people for like sharing fake news online or being disruptive and inappropriate on the internet. Essentially, you will be either praised or you will be exiled or punished for not cooperating within the limits of what the Chinese government believes to be socially acceptable. In my eyes, I feel that this is gonna like breed a community, or it's another way to keep people marginalized. And when you marginalize communities, or marginalized communities are often disadvantaged, or they become disadvantaged, they become poor, and these things typically lead to violence. So I brought this up because essentially we are living in an episode of Black Mirror. And I don't remember the exact episode of Black Mirror, but people literally only acted good, or they only came off a certain way because they knew that they would be, or they would receive praise or something good in return. So it wasn't goodness out of their actual, they weren't doing it out of the kindness of their heart or to do it intentionally. That they were just doing it because they knew they would receive praise. So that's similar to, I would say, social media, how it is, and how social media can be. People are not necessarily posting content because they genuinely care, or they genuinely enjoy being a content creator, or they genuinely enjoy sharing their experiences. A lot of people are sharing content and taking things from this person and trying to, you know, be like the next person because it works for them. So maybe it is a good thing that we won't have likes. But then again, it's always going to be something. So now I want to get into another point that people brought up when it came to this content, well, not this content, when it came to this concept of Instagram removing likes. People had a lot to say about, will this affect influencers, and will the algorithm be actually curating content based off of interest? So as an influencer, I don't even really think it matters. When I was serving as, well, not even serve, when I was a PR assistant for a PR firm, I would look at different influencers' pages, and like natural hair influencers, beauty influencers, when I would just go on my scouting, my recruiting missions, I wasn't so wrapped up in how many likes they received or how many followers they had. I will only get alarmed if someone had, let's say, 100,000 subscribers or 100,000 followers on Instagram, and only 10 people liked a post. So for me, that sends off a red flag, because it kind of shows me that your community is not engaged at all. So in a sense, it wouldn't be really worthwhile working with you, because you can't keep a community engaged. And that is the whole point of being an influencer, is, in a sense, not, I won't say the whole point, but it is a huge point or a huge role in being an influencer, is being able to garner a community, cultivate a community, keep that community engaged by the content that you do create. Okay? Not by how many likes you can get, but how can you keep them involved? How are they engaging with you, your content? Are they interested? Are they sharing their feedback? Are they letting you know that they are enjoying what you're doing? That's the real premise of it. Not, can you get 12,000 likes? Because I'm not expecting someone with 6,000 subscribers to get 12,000 likes. But what I am expecting to see on their content is people really interested in what they're doing, how they're doing it, and wanting more of that. So it doesn't matter if you have 2,000 likes or 500 likes, but I just want to see, is your community engaged? With a lot of industries being oversaturated, specifically the industry when it comes to influencers and bloggers, it is oversaturated, but not really. Brands and companies are really interested in seeing, are you speaking to a niche audience? Not, are you speaking to the masses? Because the masses, it could be anybody. You know, that number count can be very flawed, and it cannot be engaged. And when I say a niche community or a specific community, I would say, like, give an example, the natural hair community. I speak to girls who have 3C to 4A hair. They live in the US. They might have attended college, or they are currently attending college. They're black, they're Afro-Latina, they have a little extra money here and there to splurge on products. They love to be on Instagram, they like internet, you know, they like YouTube. That's my niche community. You know, those are the people that I speak to. I don't speak to the Chinese American experience, or the Chinese experience, the Indian experience. I don't speak to all of those experiences. May I have some similarities, and may some people within those communities be interested in what I have to say? Potentially, yes. However, I know my audience, and that's the importance of being an influencer, is knowing your audience and not trying to be so broad that you're not speaking to anyone. Nobody's really listening to what you're saying. So that's what companies and brands are looking for. They're looking for micro or nano influencers now, opposed to these huge influencers, these macro influencers, or these macro bloggers, because they're not getting a return, or they're not seeing a return on their investment. And honestly, neither are these macro influencers. Yes, people are raving for them, they want their content, they're engaged in their content, but oftentimes it's not the same when you can speak to that small group of people who really rock with the person that they're following or that they're supporting, and that they're actually engaged. They care when they're posting, they care what they have to say, they're reading their blog posts, they're liking every video, they're sharing their videos with their friends. That's who they want to speak to. But they most importantly want to speak to people that they're trying to market to. Like I said, data. And the more that these brands can get and these companies can get into more niche groups, the more money they can get. So they do that by utilizing smaller YouTubers, influencers, bloggers, opposed to larger ones, because they want to cover every track, every corner. They want to leave no stone unturned. Okay, so lastly, I would say in regards to the algorithm in Instagram, I don't feel like much will change when you really think about it. Instagram's algorithm is not based on chronological order. It's based on how engaged that post is. And when I say how engaged, how many likes did it receive, how many people are commenting on it, how fast is the person who posted that actual content engaging with the people, because that helps boost your content. When say you posted your video or a picture on Instagram, are you commenting back? Are you commenting back instantly, or are you waiting an hour? So you didn't engage back, so it's not necessarily going to prompt your post. You want to make sure that you're actually engaging with the people who are engaging with you, and it's going to help boost your post. You got to do that with within the first 10 minutes type shit. Stop trying to be so bougie and not, engage with people. You need to be engaging with the people who are engaging with you. So essentially what I'm saying is Instagram is going to promote the content that is garnering the most attention. They don't do chronological order anymore. Who on this platform is who's getting the most attention? That's why they have the explore page. The explore page is a page where it's the things that you are interested in, but most importantly, it's the things that you're interested in and that other people are very, very interested in, and it's getting a lot of attention. That is the explore page. So the algorithm is going to stand the same. Even though likes are being hidden, those people that are garnering these likes, their pages are still going to be prompted or promoted based off of people engaging in it. So what does that mean for influencers? What does that mean with someone who is trying to promote their business? What does that mean for people who want to make a name for themselves on social media and put themselves out there on social media? You have to do the work. You have to create engaging content that people actually want to see. You can't just post bullshit anymore. It's not 2008 and you can't just post anything. I'm not saying pay so much attention to detail that you forget to be an authentic person when it comes to your content, but what I am saying is make shit shake. Innovate on this platform. Try new things. Stop trying to be a sheep and be like everybody else and take someone else's blueprint to success and think that it's going to work for you, because it's not. Content is king, and you have to find new ways to get your voice out there and to get your content out there. That's why it's important to be across different social media platforms. I don't just have a YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel, I have an Instagram, I have a Twitter. You need to have a website. I don't got one yet. It's not official. It will be soon, but you need to have a website too, because what if all this shit go away? What if Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, what if it's deleted tomorrow? How are people going to find you? What data do you have on your supporters? You don't, because if Instagram was to delete today, I know that they have places where they store their data. So they have your email address. So they could create a new app. If Instagram just went poof, goodbye, they could create a new app tomorrow and tell you to come sign up because they have your email. So what are you doing with your business and with your brand to make sure that you have not a leash on your audience, but have a handle on the people that are engaging with you? So that's where I'm going to end this podcast. Honestly, I would just say the sooner that people realize that you just got to be yourself on this internet is the sooner you will see success. You have to utilize your voice, the knowledge that you know, and keep learning and keep growing to be successful. It's not about being cute. It's not about being trendy. It's not about being popular. It's about actually utilizing your voice, I would say, for the greater good and being impactful and being intentional rather than focusing on being trendy and what's hot. So yeah, this is Thursday's episode. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all so much for listening to what I have to say. I hope if you have any feedback or anything, definitely let me know your thoughts. And be sure to follow Brand Like a Girl on Instagram at brandlikeagirl.co. See you next Tuesday, and I hope you all have an amazing weekend.